What makes a good or a bad character transformation in shonen animes? So hello everyone, here is Arkin, and in this video I will talk about a subject that is very common in shonen anime and shonen manga, and that is the beauty and the ugliness about character transformations, where we will make an analysis on character transformations in some famous shonen animes like Dragon Ball, Naruto, Hunter x Hunter, and others. And that question came into my mind after making our last video where we talked about Dragon Ball Daima and Dragon Ball Super. After reflecting more and more about the series, I came into the conclusion that one of the reasons that I don't particularly appreciate Dragon Ball Super so much is because of the incredible amount of unnecessary transformations presented in that show. You have the Super Saiyan God, the Super Saiyan Blue, the Ultra Instinct, but you must be asking yourself, hey, Dragon Ball Z already had a lot of Super Saiyan transformations, so why are we complaining about the Dragon Ball Super transformations? And that is why I started to think about what makes a good or a bad transformation. We'll first analyze Dragon Ball Super and then the original Dragon Ball transformations, and later in this video we'll talk about other shonen anime like Naruto, Hunter x Hunter, Pokemon, and Inuyasha. Keep in mind that there will be spoilers about character transformations in those animes, of course. So first, let's talk about Dragon Ball Super. Since the beginning of the first arc of Dragon Ball Super, you already have a new transformation. You have Goku becoming a Super Saiyan God. And visually, it is identical to the basic version of Goku, except for his hair color and his eye color, which becomes pink. In the next arc, you have Vegeta and then Goku soon achieving the Super Saiyan Blue transformation, which changes their hair color to blue. And finally, we will have the Ultra Instinct transformations that make their hair color become silver, I think.
So what is this, Super Saiyan with blue hair dye?
So the first thing I didn't enjoy so much about these transformations is that they seemed like they were easily achieved, except maybe for the Ultra Instinct transformation, which required more effort from Goku. Because in this transformation, you have to separate the consciousness from the body, which is something more original at least. In my opinion, they are also not so visually appealing because you basically only change the hair color in each transformation. First you have Goku with pink hair, then Goku with blue hair, and then Goku with silver hair. You know, I personally think that the Super Saiyan 4 transformation from Dragon Ball GT was more visually appealing, but well, it is not considered a canon transformation anymore. And the worst thing about the Dragon Ball Super transformations is that they are very predictable. You don't get surprised anymore when you see a new transformation. It is something so common that you kinda expect it. Now, comparing these transformations with the character transformations from the original Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z, we have some fundamental differences. In the original Dragon Ball, we already had one transformation. Goku would become a great ape when he was at full moon, the Ozaru transformation. But this transformation had some limitations. He would increase his power, but at the same time, he would lose his consciousness, so he could harm even his friends. His friends would even try to cut his tail to prevent him from becoming a great ape again. Later, in the beginning of Dragon Ball Z, Goku would learn the Kaioken, which was actually a technique that allowed him to multiply his power. But at the same time, if he used higher multiplications of his power, sometimes he couldn't handle it, and his body would be heavily damaged after the fight, like what happened to him after his first fight against Vegeta, where he had to be in the hospital for a few days. So it also had a limitation. And the Super Saiyan was the first huge transformation that happened to Goku in Dragon Ball Z. It all happened after Frieza killed Krillin in front of his eyes and after a long battle. And when that happened, you could really feel that Goku was stronger, and it was not something as predictable as in the later parts of Dragon Ball Z. There were all those legends about the Super Saiyan transformation, something that only the Saiyans could achieve. But after the first Super Saiyan transformation, the other Super Saiyan transformation like Super Saiyan 2 and Super Saiyan 3 became more predictable and not as special as the first one. And this all happened because transformations are usually something that draws attention to the show. It is visually appealing, it is exciting, and it makes more money to the companies. And this is the huge problem. People enjoy transformations because they usually mean a change. They mean something new in the story. Usually, the character becomes more powerful after the transformation. But it doesn't really feel good when you still feel that the character has not evolved physically or mentally yet. Another thing is that transformations are usually better when they are totally unexpected. When I watched Hunter x Hunter for the first time and Gon had his transformation, which I don't really want to spoil to other people if you haven't watched Hunter x Hunter yet, because it is something that you must experience alone with your own eyes. Really. But okay, when Gon finally had his transformation, it was totally unexpected to me. And you could feel that the character became stronger. You could even feel the fear in the eyes of his enemy. Transformations are also great when they add some limitation to the character instead of only making him overpowered. In Naruto, for example, Naruto couldn't control the power of the Kyuubi inside of him in the beginning of the show, and there was always the risk of the demon overcoming him and controlling him. And now talking about Inuyasha. Well, Inuyasha has a reverse transformation, kind of. Instead of becoming more powerful, Inuyasha loses his powers and becomes a human during the night of the new moon. It is a cool feature that makes the character more vulnerable and weaker. Sometimes it is interesting to see the character weaker instead of stronger. And what about Pokemon, for example? Pokemon is all about collecting monsters and evolving them, right? It is basically the concept of the show. So you can't really complain about Pokemon having too many transformations. But even in Pokemon, sometimes there are some exceptions or different transformation conditions that makes the transformations more interesting. Pikachu can't transform itself without the Thunderstone, and it actually doesn't want to evolve. And Eevee, on the other hand, can evolve into different Pokemon through various methods. When exposed to the Water Stone, it becomes Vaporeon, or when leveled up with high friendship during the nighttime, it can become Umbreon. So, in conclusion, here are my final thoughts on what makes good or bad transformations. Transformations feel bad when they are very predictable in the show and occur too often. They are bad when you feel that the character is not actually stronger and he hasn't evolved physically nor mentally yet, so he doesn't feel ready to become more powerful and he doesn't deserve that transformation yet. A good transformation must be not only visually appealing and feel original, but also present a unique distinction or different features. Maybe some limitation or some unexpected ability that will surprise the fans, and not just something that will make the character become overpowered or only change its visuals. And these are my overall thoughts about what makes a good or a bad transformation. Know that these are all based on my own theories and my own opinions. So if you have different opinions, don't forget to tell me what you think about shonen transformations in the comments below. If you liked this video and if you like animes, mangas, and also games and RPGs in general, please don't forget to subscribe. We are a new channel, and we'll keep uploading more and more videos about it. So don't forget to follow us and keep watching. Thank you so much.